This is called Alone Against the Frost, a solitaire adventure in Canada's wilds. And my understanding is that the original publishing of this was somewhat insensitive to the native Canadians, or at least not as conscious of it as it should have been. This is the reprint that is much more conscious of that. And what we're going to be doing is basically playing through this adventure book over the course of this live stream together. And whenever we get to meaningful decisions, people who've donated can participate in a poll to decide what happens. My understanding is that it's incredibly difficult and the characters will die. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to rename the main character after the members of the team. And every time one dies, we'll just go back to the reset point. We'll have a new member of the team come along and support it.
So gonna die.
Well, I'll die first because I'm going to be the first character.
Oh, okay.
You play as Dr. Nadelman, but in this case we're going to be Mike. That's me. I'm going to die first.
Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike. The youngest PhD to be tenured at Miskatonic University in Arkham, Massachusetts. You are the rising star in the new field of cultural anthropology. Ooh. Even your European counterparts are impressed by your cascade of learned articles. Your theories are exciting. Your classes are always full, and your students idolize you. This is so unrealistic. Nobody feels that way about me.
What do you mean everyone idolizes me?
So when I die and you take over, I'm just keen to see how we die. Chat will of course be helping us make decisions, so they'll be, I think, trying to kill us. Previous expeditions on your resume have been just sensational enough to draw the favorable attention of the press to the university in general and to the Department of Anthropology in particular. Rumors abound about large private endowments for your speciality. Your department head and collegiate administrators often invite you to dinner.
I like a dinner.
Nailman also has 180 points of personal interest skill points to spend. Allocate these as you like, but for field work you might want to consider firearms, navigate, pilot, boat, and survival woodland. Alright, so I guess...
Firearms, navigate boat... Navigate boat or what? Sorry.
Boat.
A boat. Yeah, that.
Navigate boat. I presume that means piloting a boat.
Do you pilot a boat? Do you drive a boat? Do you steer a boat? You steer a boat, right?
I think you can say pilot a boat. Maybe it. Well, it is pilot boat.
Okay, fine. I thought it was
and survival woodland.
Navigating a boat, surviving woodland.
You captain a ship. That's true, Johnny. But a ship is not a boat, is it? Now, what is the difference between a ship and a boat? I'm not sure. But I'm sure there's a technical...
It's always about size.
It's probably about size. It may be about propulsion as well.
Oh, maybe.
Nah, you get massive ships with sails.
Size and performance. Right, what am I doing? Firearms.
Hager suggests, I don't know how technically he's aware of this, but he does say ships can carry boats, but not the other way around.
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. Often large ships have boats around the outside, don't they?
Yes, they do.
The Nadelman expedition is a party of 5. You have the help of Charlie Foxtail, a local guide, along with Bird Epstein, Sylvia Davidson, and Norman Faulkner. Your graduate students from the university. Their investigation sheets can be found in the back of the book. If you need to make a skill roll and one of your companions is present and awake, you may choose to have them make the roll instead. For example, Charlie has an excellent score in Listen. As long as Charlie is able to help, you may roll on her skill instead of your own. You may only attempt the skill roll once, however. Should combat arise, your companions may help you. Allot damage on your side as evenly as possible. You may elect to take extra damage to protect the students. No! They're expendable! A companion's hit points must... I've been playing the Earthborn Rangers recently. And in Earthborn Rangers, you are not allowed to let your companions get killed. You must protect them.
I like this rule.
He specifically said to me, I wanted to have a game where your companions are not just cannon fodder that you throw in front of beasts to protect yourself.
Save me!
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I want them to be actual people you have to protect and not just meat shields. So there you go.
Meat shield.
Anyway, here we are back to the meat shields idea.
No!
So, should combat arise, your companions may help you. A lot of damage on your side as evenly as possible. Dr. Nadelman may elect to take extra damage to protect the students. Companions' hit points may not be reduced below 0 in combat unless the text allows for the possibility of their death. So we're not allowed to let them die unless they are allowed to die. So that's probably a plot element. You may wish to note a companion if a companion disappears or dies. Yeah, probably. Using luck points. It is recommended that you use the optional spending luck rule. This rule allows you to spend your luck points to alter the result of your rolls. You may alter a roll on a 1-for-1 basis, e.g. to adjust the roll of 49 to make the result equal to your skill of 45, you spend 4 points of luck. Okay, so with any luck, and with any spent luck, then deducted from your current luck total. Remember, you cannot spend luck points to alter damage, or luck rolls, or sanity rolls, or rolls to determine the amount of sanity points you lose. You may spend your personal luck points to succeed at a failed check. However, there will be very few opportunities to recover luck out in the woods, and you're likely to need some luck along the way, so do this at your peril.
Keep the luck.
Until you really need it. When in combat, your opponent's fighting skill will be noted in the following format. 50%, 25 over 10. 50% is the regular attack roll, while the number in parentheses denotes half and 1/5 success levels for determining who won the combat round, i.e. who got the best level of success. Within the entry, any damage suffered from being hit is shown. Roll the damage die indicated to determine how many hit points you or a companion loses. Should you suffer enough damage to cause a major wound or fall unconscious, consult the entry below. This entry number is also noted on your character sheet. Insanity. Apart from the threat of injury and death, your sanity may be assaulted by strange and incomprehensible things while on the expedition. Keep a record of your sanity points and apply sanity losses as normal. In some cases, the results of the insanity are directed in the entry text. Otherwise, at any other point, should you reach the threshold for temporary, indefinite, or permanent insanity, consult the following entries as necessary and continue from that point. Interesting. What is the difference between indefinite insanity and permanent insanity? Occasionally you will encounter the phrase, "the end." This signifies that your investigator is doomed and the adventure is over. It means you sometimes it means you've won, of course, but not very often. If you failed this attempt, try again. So when we get to the end, that's when we'll learn how, one of the RSP crew has died, and we'll backtrack to a suitable point and continue from there with a new crew member in charge. That's the premise of this little agenda. So here we go. Off on the adventure. You have long been fascinated by the prehistory of North America, particularly the big woods of the north. The Canadian wilderness remains as unexplored as the Amazon basin, and hunters, trappers, and gold seekers tell hair-raising stories of the people in the area. Of course, they also tell tales of terrifying demons and exotic fantasies. The time is right to bring a rigorous academic perspective to the big woods. The truth hidden there is doubtless more fascinating than any traveler's yarn. For over a year, you have petitioned your department to finance a modest summer exploratory trip into Canada's Northwest Territories. Now at least your funding has been approved, and you make your preparations to leave at the end of spring semester. Many of your graduate students are eager to go, but you can only take 3. You have chosen to explore the valley of the North Hanina. The local dialect, Hanina, means the river of magic power.
Ooh.
The yarn spinners have worked overtime on the legends of the North Hanina. It is said to be haunted by invisible presences and bloodthirsty headhunters. A part of the valley where a party of prospectors was found beheaded is still known as Headsman's Glen. Your small expedition takes the train into the north-central Canada and then boards a chartered launch to Great Slave Lake and down the Mackenzie to Fort Macdonald, where an outpost of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police represents the sole power of civilization against many thousands of square miles of mountains, lakes, taiga, and swamp. Fort Macdonald is a trading post for trappers and natives. The best route into the valley of North Hanina is upstream by canoe, following the west branch of the Mackenzie to the mouth of the tributary you seek. A single bark canoe of excellent make has been reserved for you, as well as the basic gear of your summer trip that your summer trip requires. We're gonna get 4 people in a canoe. That's ambitious. With all of our gear, we need 2 canoes.
I was gonna say it must be a very long canoe.
I mean, a canoe is canoe's at capacity at 4, at 3 unless it's a big canoe.
It's quite near that waterline.
And if you've got everyone's camping gear as well, you really want 2 canoes.
I wouldn't want my sleeping bag getting wet.
You don't want any of your gear to get wet.
Definitely not the sleeping bag.
Yeah. Officials tell you that guides are reluctant to venture into the North Hanina. The local peoples have always shunned the region, and most of the white men who dared to trespass upon the river of magic power have never returned.
Uh-oh.
Still, you locate a tough professional guide named Charlie Foxtail. That's the guy I was looking for. He's probably got lore. Or know-how. Useful know-how. She narrows her eyes upon hearing of your destination, but is persuaded by the high wages you are offering. Finally, all is ready to go. After a few days on the west branch of the Mackenzie, the stuffy corridors of Miskatonic University seem very far away. Sun stipples the water from the glare of midday to the gentle burn of sunset. Caribou gaze at you from the shore ahead. A heron drags an unfortunate stickleback from the shallows. It would feel like a vacation, were it not for the relentless demand of the paddle. Each day makes the students more adept at keeping time with you and Charlie. Your supply of gasoline is limited, so you must run the outboard motor as seldom as possible. We've got a canoe with a motor, do we?
No. No paddles here.
I've never had a canoe with a motor, but I'm sure they exist.
No, I've never had a canoe with a motor. It's been people power.
It's always been paddles, yeah. Oars. Paddles? Oars.
Yeah, paddles.
You think it's... I don't know what the difference between an oar and a paddle is.
I think an oar is not as wide. Like I think an oar is like this.
I suppose it's semantics, really. If you're in a canoe, you could have either or. Let's keep reading.
I'm leaving the expedition. There. See my drawing? There's your paddle. There's your oar.
Just want everyone to see your technical expertise.
I didn't pass GCSE art.
Here's Michael's technical drawings of an oar and a paddle.
You can have a double paddle on your own.
Sun and wind. Well, that's for kayaking. You can't in a canoe. You have to have a single oar.
Yeah, because you're more leaning.
And then if you're on your own, you have to use a day stroke, so you don't just go in one direction. And you don't have to constantly.
Hexy is going. Is that a spatula? Rude. No, it's a paddle.
Sun and wind.
Sorry.
Sun and wind grant Bernard the outdoor complexion he desires. You locate the tributary one evening, just as the light begins to fail. Next day, you launch into the North Hanina. The Ram Mountains loom in the distance, through a heat haze. At this latitude, the summer nights are so short, the darkness gives the waterways no time to cool. Norman wipes sweat from the back of his head. The North Hanina is a rougher river than the West Branch. Its floodplain is obstructed by sandbars, hills and driftwood, shingle islands and forests of dead trees rooted in the mud. The current points all of them downstream, like arrows warning you to turn back. Sylvia turns to your guide. Charlie, does your people live in this area? Charlie grunts and watches the water. For a moment, it seems she will not answer. Then she looks at Sylvia. At one time. Now only outcasts. We will avoid them. Sylvia frowns. Why are they... But Charlie raises a hand. From ahead, slowly building, you hear the roar of rushing water. This is the place of splitting water, she says. Here, the river is alive. Each day makes itself anew. Make a luck roll. If you succeed, go to 2. If you fail, go to 3. Beginning.
So I take it we want under 185.
Yeah, so
under 85.
So this is a D100. So if we roll that, that's 1, and if we roll that, that's 100. Do you want to roll the first roll?
No.
Okay.
I don't have the pressure.
Here we go. So what did I say?
That's 23.
That's 23. So that's well below 80. So I think we pass. The expedition spends the day working through a baffling network of waterways. Sometimes you're forced to back down impassable channels to find an easier way. Sometimes you blunder across the heads of powerful chutes and are swept along with them. At certain points, your party has to wade in waist-deep water, inching the craft along by hand. You pass labyrinths of wooded islands, fast water, and drift. Finally, you select a peaceful backwater in which to moor and make camp for the night. Roll a D10. All right, Michael, this is you.
So what happens here?
I don't know. The result is going to direct us to different things.
So what are the things? I like to know these things.
If the result is even, go to 4. If the result is odd, go to 5.
Okay. We don't even know what's good or not.
No. That's my point. 8. That's
It's even.
even. You take first watch that night while the others sleep after an exhausting day. The brief darkness is disturbed by the splash of beavers in the stream, the trilling of insects, and the hoot of a great grey owl. And maybe the call of a loon. Make a listen roll. Alright, so now we want we're bad at this. So if we head down to see our folks down here, we can have one of our friends do it until they're dead. So we're bad at listen, but we've got...
But are they all in bed?
It doesn't matter. We can use our friends.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, what's our stat in listen? We've got 20%. So if you want to be... well, let's ask chat then. Chat, what do you think? Can we use our friends?
No, we're not... I was meaning we're not good.
But we're bad at it, yeah. So Charlie Foxtail is good at it, but we did take first watch. The rules are not explicit, so can we rely on Charlie Foxtail? What do you think, chat?
To me, it's been like, you're the only one awake, so you should do the listen roll. Is my logic with it?
Yeah, I agree. Thematically, it sort of makes sense.
But I don't like it. I want to win.
Jatticus says, yes. I think that's probably right. But it did say when we had to make checks...
You can use your mates.
Yeah, in the book.
As long as they're there with you, yeah.
It kind of makes sense, right? Because even if you're asleep, you might still hear something. All right, make a listen roll. It's 70%. Do you want to roll? It's my turn to roll, actually, isn't it?
Sure.
Come on, Charlie. Yellows is 10s.
Yeah.
So that's 51.
You've passed.
But that's still okay.
You've heard it, right?
I've heard something. As you listen, you hear a peculiar scurrying in the undergrowth. Just beyond the glow of the campfire, something's moving.
Uh-oh.
The sound stops near the spot where your graduate assistant, Bernard Epstein, is snoring faintly. You pick up a weapon and pad through the silence. A heavy sky blocks the moon and stars. It is only by a sudden flaring of the fire that you see the intruders. Tiny figures walking upright. You only have an instant to decide what to do. If you shoot at the intruders, make a hard firearms rifle shotgun roll because of the condition. If you hit your target, go to 16. If you miss or do not shoot, go to 17.
Oh man!
So I think we have to give this decision over to
Good.
Our wonderful donators.
Good. I'm glad because I don't like this decision.
I think we should find out what happens when we shoot at the intruders, and then we can let Michael go.
Yeah. What time are we on?
For the night? It is 4:25.
Wow. So yes. One question.
Massively overshot the time I gave Johnny. Sorry, Johnny. Let's get to the next question on the story here, and then I guess I'll have to give you a summary when you come back later.
Yes. Please do. Because people want to shoot, right?
Yes, shoot has come out 67% to...
All mean.
So we're going to make a hard shotgun roll, which means we're at 50%. Our rifle skill is at 70, so we need below 35. And we can adjust this with luck, but... I don't think by enough, depending on how badly we roll. And then we also spend the luck, right?
Both 30.
So that's a hit, isn't it?
So you said we need below 35.
That's what I said.
So
Right?
why?
Because our skill is 70 and it's hard, so we need to get below 50%. 50%, 70 is 35.
Oh, I see. So we do hit.
Yeah. We do hit.
I feel guilty shooting them. I think they're just misunderstood. So now where do we go?
16.
16.
Your rifle cracks and you hear a high-pitched squeal like that of a frightened piglet.
Oh.
Your companions struggle from their bedrolls, all shouting at once. You explain that you shot something next to Bernard. Charlie plucks a flaming brand from the fire and approaches the bewildered student. With a frown, she pauses over something in the bracken. She gasps and staggers back, shielding her face. You come up beside her to see what you hit. It is a strange, diminutive figure, almost human, but with exaggerated, sculpted features. In the flickering light from the brand, its skin almost seems colorless gray. It has very long fingers and odd feet, almost like hands. A Pakwoogie! Charlie grabs you. This is an evil little one of the night. If there's one, there will be more. Professor, we must leave this valley. The figure is fascinating, but Charlie does not seem like a woman who is easily scared. The students look to you for a decision.
Ooh. So, well done, chat. You were right.
Yeah, shoot the Pakwoogie.
Bernard was about to die. If I would have let him die.
You would have let him get carried off into the night by Pakwoogies, Michael.
Yeah.
All right. Argue with Charlie, go to 30, or agree with her, bury the little figure, and return downriver. All right. Well, this seems like another decision for chat.
Go.
I will make a new poll. All right, here we go. Leave the valley or stay.
Why would you stay? They would certainly would not be staying if I was like an evil little thing was like trying to kill me. I nearly got him killed in the first place. I'd be like, come on, Bernard, me and you were off.
Story time.
All right, so following the resolution of the poll, I'm going to go down here and end the poll in chat. There we go. So we've decided to bury the figure and continue on downstream.
Ooh.
Ooh is right.
Ooh.
On so treacherous a river, your party cannot afford to make many mistakes. You must work together. Make a pilot boat roll for each party member. If at least 3 rolls succeed, go to such and such a number. Otherwise, go to 156. All right, here we go. I got a blue die now. I was going to roll them on the green screen, but the green screen's not working currently. We'll bring the green screen back in due course. But
I know which one was units and which one was tens.
Well, I've got yellow as tens, and yellow remains tens. So
the double zeros, right? Yeah.
This is for us, so I think we got 46 on boat here. Oh, so we got 27.
Oh, 27.
So that's 1 success of the 3 we need. This is our man Bernard.
Appropriate.
Everyone gets a roll. So Bernard's boat piloting is 30. So let's roll for Bernard's boat piloting.
He seems like the kind of guy that character would be like, it's Bernard.
22! This is amazing! That's 2 successes.
I don't know. No, I'm not going to sing Taylor Swift just because you rolled the dice. It's not happening.
Come on, Charlie, bring us home. You can do it. I believe in you, Charlie.
You got this, Charlie.
You can do it, Charlie.
Come on, Charlie.
28! Crushing it!
It's going to start those football chants for Charlie now.
Morgan Knight's like, oh my god, there is a boat skill. I thought you were joking. No, we need to roll boat skill to pass the boat test. But good news, everyone, we passed the boat test.
So I was like, how good at boat are you? Okay, I guess.
Yeah, how good? Well, the game was light. You should put some... So, this is a... I mean, you know, this is based on Call of Cthulhu, and there's a pilot skill, and when you pick pilot, you can pick like when you pick pilot, you can pick like the mode of transport. So you'll be asked to specify. So you might pick aircraft or car. In this case, we've all picked boat because I guess we're doing a river adventure, and boat's utterly crucial. So that was 165, wasn't it? So
yes, I guess.
for each party member, if at least 3 rolls succeed, go to 513. So on we go to 513. It's time to decide the course of your expedition. Fort McDonald lies within your reach. You may go there to end your experience in North Hanaya. If you still have an appetite for exploration, you may take a short side trip or even strike back out into the depths of the valley. Okay, so by arguing with Charlie, we've literally actually just ended our adventure. To return to Fort McDonald, we don't want that. To take a side trip, go to 594. If your party still has at least 3 members, you may return to the wilds.
Well, I'm Welsh, and there's something about the valleys, so... Just saying. There's a valley to go in. I want to go there, like...
Alright, so we've got our 3 options coming up here. We've got return to Fort McDonald, which I've noted is end the adventure.
Oh, why would we do that?
I don't think we should.
I mean, that's usually what happens at the end of a Friday night, isn't it? You end up in McDonald's at the end of your adventure, like...
Fort McDonald, Johnny. It's town. Anyway, but we do have the option to take a side trip here, which might actually be quite a good
Stream of consciousness happens. I like it.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to vote?
Yep, you can.
Okay.
Just don't vote for the end one, Johnny. I trust you to be smart.
You put it in brackets for a reason.
Right, so we voted for the side trip. It's around 594. Of course, you must return to Fort McDonald, but there is time for one last side trip in hopes of learning a little more about the valley.
Yay, valleys.
Alright, so... When you announce your plan, Charlie looks at you like you've lost your mind. She draws herself up. It is foolish to return to that evil place. I will not go! To give up on the idea and return to civilization, go to 593. To remind Charlie who pays for the trip, go to 603. Well, I guess we gotta remind her. I mean, I feel like we're just flirting with the end of the game here. We probably should have just stayed out in the wild.
Maybe you're not supposed to win this game. Maybe that's not how it works.
Oh no, John, you're definitely supposed to die. I just wanted to die in interesting ways, not just wind up walking home. Like, alright.
That's not wind up walking home. We'll push it this time. Come on, people, vote.
No, we're going to skip the vote here. We're going to press on. Your threat obviously impressed Charlie. Rather than end up with nothing for this trip, she sneaks off during her watch at night, taking the canoe and a share of the supplies as settlement for her efforts. You can see from the eyes of your students that they are also uncertain about your plan. To strike out upriver with no guide, go to 604. To take a circuitous route back to the fort, keeping an eye peeled for new discoveries, go to 158. To accept the situation and return to the fort, go to 593. Well, this has ended up very anticlimactic, but I guess we will return to the poll for this.
I mean, who even has a peeled eye?
The choice here is take a circuitous route back to the fort to try and make the most of our journey so far. Or strike back into the wilds now that we don't even have our guide anymore.
I mean, we've had like 2 skill checks in the whole game.
Yeah, well, but I think this is the nature of these kinds of books.
They're quite short. Well, they can be unless you get far, sort of thing.
To strike out upriver without your guide, 604.
604, let's go.
You contemplate possible routes with your students. If you have the keyword Inchcape, go to this number. To explore a nearby canyon, go to 90. To follow the river, go to 60. To use the mountains as a landmark, go to 56. To gain elevation where you can, go to 552. To explore the deep woods, go to 461. Loads of options.
Deep woods. Deep
And this
woods.
poll... Alright.
Deep woods.
Everyone listen quietly for what happens in the deep woods. Your party turns in, each to their own small tent. Bernard takes first watch. Over a mat of branches, you throw your eider-down roll. Upon this, you spread a sheet. You take your customary final look around before turning in. The camp is settled and everything is in place. That night, you wake to a cry in the darkness. Epstein! Epstein! No one in your party could speak in such a chill, brittle timber. You rise, throw on your jacket, and seize your rifle. You're just in time to see Bernard answering his caller with an unintelligible shout and darting into the black forest. Norman and Sylvia join you, jabbering questions. Norman finally speaks. What do we do now, Professor? Sylvia, her face lit by flickering flames, looks at you like a hopeful orphan. Charlie is gone, but of course you cannot abandon Bernard whilst there's a chance of finding him alive. At that moment, a clear cry rings from above. You look to the sky. My feet! My flaming feet! My heart! The plaintive call cuts off abruptly, and you hear something heavy crashing down through the treetops, breaking branches as it plummets. You tell the others to get their guns. You stand over the fire, a nervous finger on the trigger. Hours pass. Finally, a twig snaps, then another. Unhurried, something steps from the bush. To shout at the first sight of the figure, go to 138. Let it come closer, go to 109. To shoot. Alright, so do we shoot first? Or ask questions later? Or not? You drop the gun, overwhelmed by how close you came to utter disaster. Bernard takes a couple of oddly balanced steps forward. So it was Bernard. Something about his stride is weird. Is he limping? You glance down at his feet. They are hidden beneath a shapeless wrapping of rags from his shirt and jacket. Nagged by irrational doubts, but trying to be logical, you urge him over to the fire. Bernard, is it really you? Sylvia's voice quavers. The figure chortles, his voice broken. Something inside you cringes as he walks up to the fire. His skin is sallow. His features hang slack on his skull. For a moment, you imagine something bestial peering out through the holes of a human mask. Intellectually, you want to accept this person as Bernard. Emotionally, you're not so sure. Make an anthropology roll. If you succeed, go to 102. If you fail, go to 139.
I've got 75% on this one.
Yeah, I think isn't this the one we had to put lots of
Yeah.
edit in? Okay, so success is 102.
See, I'm
and
paying
failure.
attention. You
Look,
are pretty good.
I'm the tenured professor, damn it.
Yeah.
All right,
That's
come
what I mean.
on.
You're kind of suited for it.
Yeah, 24. So good
you
at
told me the
dice.
dice roll before I had a chance to watch it.
Sorry.
I'm only messing.
All right, so that's success. So we can head over to 102. No matter what it looks like, this thing cannot be Bernard Epstein. Whatever it is, his mortal shell possessed, you do not know. But you now remember what you heard about those chosen by Ithaquani. Such a thing must be destroyed. But you, a rational academic, cannot think such thoughts. Surely you're unhinged to even consider them.
Don't call me Shirley.
The students will not understand your action, but you are the expedition leader, and their survival is your responsibility. Roll a d6! Here we go, d6 time. Let's see what happens.
Roll it.
Yeah. What is it? It's a 6!
Ninja style.
Is that... I don't know if that's good.
That is a 6. How
Yep.
can it be bad?
No idea.
This Arkham. No. It is Arkham.
Yeah. Well, in Arkham you succeed by rolling low.
Mm.
You draw a stiff, burning brand from the campfire, and then steal up behind the supposed monster. As he starts to turn his head, you stab for his heart, your hand strengthened by a rush of adrenaline. He lets out an anguished shriek, ah! Clutches at the brand, and then slumps. In examining the body, you realize you made a terrible mistake. Carried away by wild imaginings, you've murdered a perfectly ordinary person.
Oh no.
Oh no! Make a sanity roll.
Didn't it?
Yeah, I think our sanity's 80. So, at least we're still relatively sane.
Sanity is nice.
Aha! That's 100.
Oh no.
So we lose 1d6 sanity for murdering Bernard.
Yay.
I mean, this makes perfect sense.
I know, we weren't gonna not have any, effects
5!
from
We've
committing
lost
such
5.
an act.
Yeah, we've lost 5 points of sanity. I'm noting it down
Yikes.
here. After many days and hardships, your party returns to Fort MacDonald. There you confess your guilt, and the Canadian authorities subject you to psychiatric tests. Whatever happens, you will not be returning to your position at Miskatonic University.
Aww.
I think this is the end of the adventure. Yeah. 60. So it passed the test. You are judged to have suffered from a temporary insanity, which means deportation and disgrace.
Wait,
The,
we got deported.
the Nadelman expedition is over. The end.
We got deported.
We got deported! Ending 1. Deported.
Need a stamp. Big stamp. Douche. Experiment failed. Deported.